Well, Tom Brady has never looked better, and he's never looked better than he has right here on our show. How about that? We've got Tom on the program, and Phil and I were just talking about if we had a couple of those free hats there, those Tom Brady hats, we'd actually wear them.
These are for the younger demographic. You two old guys, I don't know if you could pull these off.
That ain't right. That ain't right. Well, congratulations. Another big win. There he is, sitting there as always, 8-3 as you guys roll right along. This team appears to be getting better as we go along. Is that kind of the way you see it too?
Well, I think Coach Belichick really stresses that with this team. And, you know, as we played 11 games, being 8-3, I don't think it's where we hoped we were at. I think we're obviously in a decent position, but he always says 8 wins don't get you anything in this league. So our whole season's ahead of us, and the month of December is when the best teams really start to, you know, separate themselves, and hopefully we can be one of those teams.
Yeah, you know, I want to bring up Chris's favorite subject. It's about him. If he was a wide receiver for you, okay, now you can be honest. You probably saw some old clips of him running in the Bengals uniform, complaining to the quarterback.
Black and white. Go ahead.
Yeah, but what would you do? What kind of plays could you call to throw to Chris Collinsworth? What do you think?
He'd be our decoy. I think we would just run him through the middle of the zone and try to clear it out for Welker or Branch or something like that.
That's sort of my role on this show, too. I'm just a decoy. That's all we do. Hey, talk a little bit about your relationship with Bill Belichick. From the moment you first came in and you got a chance to start and play, and your involvement in deciding which plays are called at that point, and where you are today and some of the discussions and the meetings you might have.
Well, I think the great part about playing for him is, as a player, the expectations that he has for me are very similar to what he has for everybody on this team. And he doesn't treat me any differently than he treats the other guys.
Oh, that's great.
He sets the tone for the whole meeting with me, you know, throwing a hitch into the dirt and, you know, him screaming at me saying, Foxborough High School could complete this pass. And some days, you know, I want to, you know, look at him and say, God, don't you know how many games we've won, or, you know, how many Super Bowls we've won? And then the other part of me says, you know what, that's what you need, because he has to be able to tell me, you got to be able to complete this. You know, we got to be able to, we can't take this penalty, because that's what he expects for the entire team. So, you know, when we're in the off season and stuff, maybe we have some more candid conversations about the team and what he thinks, what I may think about where our team's at. But for the most part, you know, he's the coach, and this is a dictatorship here. There's not a lot of people who get to make decisions other than him.
You know, as I watch modern-day football, and it has changed so much since you've been in the league, really, just the aggressiveness of offensive play calls, the designs and all that. And, you know, I'm not jealous of that. I'm not jealous of all the money. I'm really, no way. This is a real question. But you know what I'm jealous of? I'm going to ask, of course, you can't guess, Tom, but I'm going to tell you, you go, I think you're going to agree, is the footballs. Oh, yeah. My gosh. Tell us the difference, what you threw your first couple years to the footballs that you now get to handle each week.
Yeah, it is, and not a lot of people understand that. And I say that is, what happens is when I first started, they didn't allow you to break the footballs in. So a lot of the times when you were throwing the ball, you were throwing brand new footballs. And it's like telling a basketball player to shoot a brand new basketball, or a baseball, an infielder to take a brand new mitt off the shelf and try to go, you know, field rocket shots hit at you at third base. I mean, you want to be comfortable with, you know, the thing that you're handling all the time. So for us to be really comfortable now, the quarterbacks in the league, to be able to break the footballs in over the course of, you know, weeks and weeks, and there's nobody more, I think, anal than myself when it comes to breaking footballs in, and I'm very particular with how I like the football.
Yeah,
so.
it's interesting, and I'll let you just because I watched Brett Favre play his last couple of years, and I swear he was throwing footballs that Y.E. Tittle used. It was unbelievable how they were. I mean, I said, how does he make them look that way? But, man, he threw them well.
Yeah, he sure did.
Tom, so much of the conversation this season about the Green Bay Packers now, the possibility of an undefeated season. Nobody understands the pressure of that better than you do because of the season you guys had, making it all the way to the Super Bowl before losing that one. But what's it like for this football team? What's it like for Aaron Rodgers in this situation as the pressure starts to build?
Well, I think in some ways we were really insulated here by the fact that our head coach really didn't care what our record was. You know, everything was week to week with our teams.
You know, as we watch you play, Chris and I have done a lot of your football games. We see you on TV and everything, and we all know the fact that you got drafted late. Well, does that still always in the back of your mind? Is it a driving force that you go, okay, I'll show them again this week? I mean, does that still, do you still carry that around with you?
I think in some ways you always, I do, yes I do, and I think I rely on that, and it's just really what's deep inside you and what motivates you to be the kind of player that you want to be.
This week you guys face the Indianapolis Colts, a game that year after year has been the best game in the NFL. No Peyton Manning this season. What has it meant to the game?
You know, the NFL misses guys like that. They miss the players that, you know, I know how much football means to Peyton, and he and I have developed a real friendship over the years.
Well, Tom, it's always a pleasure to watch you play. We'd love to have a hat. We understand why we can't have one now, though, but certainly best of luck the rest of the way.
Thanks, guys. Nice.